going on, guys? LJ here to answer Loonacy, Steve's contest thread. Steve had a few questions for us which I thought were really cool, and I wanted to jump right on top of answering. So, Steve, first of all, thanks for keeping on posting videos and for posting this contest and this thread. And before I get started, let me say, anyone that hasn't checked out Steve's channel, Loonacy's channel, you gotta do so. You gotta do so. You know, Steve had commented on a bunch of my videos from way back when, and I'd always respond to him and say, yes, it's great, thanks for watching, when are you gonna make a video? And finally, he cracked, he turned the camera on, and it's been non-stop ever since. So, Steve, love you, brother, keep going, love the stuff you're picking up and buying, and the way your collection's rounding out, lots of cool stuff. Check him out, and I'll stick a link down in the comments to his channel so you can get yourself there and go get subscribed if you're not already. So, off to the questions. The first, I wrote them down, was show some albums from the year that you were born. No problem, and no shortage of choices either. My God, I could have shown off half my collection. 1976, what a great year for music. So I tried to round out some of the genres and grab some sincere favorites. First being Stanley Clarke's School Days. Stanley is the bizom. This guy is the man. Monster greasy bass player. Stanley touched damn near anything worth a damn in the 70s. Oh man, from Return to Forever to Stanley Clarke, just appearance on Jazz Fusion Records, all over the map. Stanley is the shit. Just a fantastic record, some great compositions here. Not all that dirty, greasy bassy, but definitely catchy, melodic as hell. Highly recommend. This is one that anybody check out. Stanley doing some graffiti there in the subway station. Killer. Of course, Kiss Destroyer. Not only referred to by most as one of their best, if not their best album, the album's just awesome. And look at the ring wear happening, setting in on this cover. I've had this for years, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. The vinyl is great, it plays sweet, and that ring wear is just decades of Kiss love right there. Look at the boys stepping out. Just awesome, amazing. So many killer songs on this album. And a ton of backstory too. Bob Ezrin, responsible for Pink Floyd's The Wall, and unfortunately responsible for Music from the Elder as well. But many other killer stuff brought in to take Kiss beyond dumb 3-chord power rock. And he did. Fantastic album. One I don't see get shown very often here in the BC, so I'm going to make a case for Thin Lizzy, Johnny the Fox. What a cool nickname. Anybody know anyone with the nickname Johnny the Fox? I do. Johnny the Fox is a killer album from Phil and Crew. This is just some kick-ass, mid-70s, hard rock, verge of heavy metal. I won't call it that, we'll stick with hard rock, but just awesome album. This is Johnny the Fox. This starts with a song called Johnny, and then followed up by a song called Rocky. And from Rocky forward, this plays like that's when the album just takes off. Killer album, definitely check it out. And we're gonna round it out. I'm not gonna overlook some classic R&B. I grew up on Motown, it's my roots. And this is Stevie Wonder's essential songs in the key of life. I don't want to lose all the stuff in here, but so this is cool. This comes with a 7-inch and a booklet. And this is just essential 70s output from Stevie. So many killer classic songs here. Absolutely not one to miss. From 76, I give you Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. I'm not kidding, I give you. Actually, I think I have an extra copy of this. So, Songs in the Key of Life. Next, Steve wanted to know albums that sound better on vinyl than they do on CD or tape or DAT or mini disc or 8-track or MP3 or iPod or music box or anything else. And I came up with a handful right away, and they completely run the gambit. So check it out. We are going to start with, no joke, one of my favorite records that I own, hands down, is Nora's Come Away With Me. And I love this because it came completely out of left field, did Ravi Shankar's Little Girl with Come Away With Me on Blue Note. So Blue Note had gone a little stale, y'all, a little stagnant. Out comes Nora with Come Away With Me, and Blue Note is just completely back in the spotlight. And they have artists like Amos Lee now, but I mean, nobody's gonna ignore, nobody's gonna debate, good word, nobody's gonna debate that Nora's got a great voice and some talent on the keys. Her albums went a little downhill from here, but Come Away With Me is a masterpiece, and on vinyl, woo, girl's voice fills a room. Unreal. Unreal. And still really easy to find, too. I mean, I think you can still pick this up online for 20-25 bucks. It's not hard to find yet. Grab it. I'm going to tilt my head to metal, and it may be because this is stuff I grew up on, so this is just where it sounds like home. But I'm going to say my favorite Judas Priest album is Screaming for Vengeance, and hands down does this rip on vinyl like it can never. I've had it and have it on cassette, CD. I don't think I ever had it on 8-track. It's been on my iPod for years. Man, this Screaming for Vengeance rip on vinyl. Just about any Priest record, guys. That is absolutely awesome, and just because it gives me an excuse to pull it out, there's the picture disc. So just some killer stuff. So Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance, man, or anything, and it might just be because that's where I cut my teeth with new wave of British heavy metal, Nuabum, I never pronounce that. Just that's where it sounds home. In the same case, I'm gonna make for a lot of live records tend to sound better to me on vinyl, but Journey's Captured is definitely one of them. And man, what a live record this is. This is absolutely awesome. There goes the booklet falling out. But Journey's Captured, amazing. Amazing on vinyl, as well as Escape, one of the most commonly found and owned albums, period. Escape is a fantastic album that suffers from being overplayed to death and cliched, but man does it sound good on vinyl. One more for you and then the last question, and no joke, Kenny G's Live. Again, it's the live record syndrome. You know, this is one that I have in my collection. I don't think I've listened to it in a long time. It's on Arista, but man, the fidelity on this record. I should have pulled Ben Harper's Live from Mars. That's another one. Kenny, Nora, Ben Harper, that Live from Mars record, when he kicks into Sexual Healing, or even Kenny, I mean, it's got its moments. Come on, let's be honest. It just, oh man, does it sing on vinyl. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, the fidelity that's buried in those grooves. Just nuts. And then the last question was the craziest thing you've ever gone through to get a record or done to get a record. A couple stories that come to mind right quick. There was one time I was at a yard sale close by, and well, I was home and my mom called me, and my mom said, LJ, you gotta get down here, they're bringing out boxes full of records, it's close to your house. So I went down, and there was my mom looking out for her little boy, and she had squatted down on the ground and was like, they're bringing these boxes down and down and down and down and down, there's like 8-9 boxes. And so she's hovering over them, like trying to keep people off of them. So I'm walking up the driveway, and I can hear my mom's voice saying, I bought them all, I bought them all. She's getting people away from the albums until I got there to look at them. It was crazy. So we sat there and we went through them for, I don't know, half an hour. There had to have been 12, 13 boxes. There had to have been, God, 300 records, 350 records. So I probably pulled 60, 70, 75 that I wanted. Just trying to go fast, trying to keep the people away. And my mom keeps going, nope, they're ours, they're ours. And a couple people are saying, then why are you still looking through them? And my mom was like, none of your business. So anyways, I brought those 75 up to the person that owned them and said, you know, what do you want for them? And I said, I have no idea what you want. And when they ever said, give me a few bucks, I was like, how about I give you 10 bucks for all of them, the albums? And she goes, that's great. So, for all that, so for all the pushing away she had done, it was 10 bucks. I would have just bought them all right then and there, just to have gone home and dug through them. And I ended up giving more than half of them to her. They were doubles for me. I pulled some decent stuff, but it was just cool. And second would be, I want to say around 10, 11, 12 years old, that was kind of the height of Nintendo. And I lived at the time very close to a store called Luke's Record Exchange. And some of the Bostonians around here Mike in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, Rob, you guys might know that, Bostonian Reggie, that might ring a bell for you. I used to walk to Luke's Record Exchange, which would take like 45 minutes to an hour, with my favorite Nintendo game at the time, to trade it in for vinyl, something new Luke had gotten. And Luke was the man, just a killer 80s record store. One that comes to mind, I can remember walking down to Luke's with a copy of, it might have been Goonies 2, or The Legend of Zelda 2. It might have been some, I'm trying to think. I think it was Goonies 2, and the box and the book was in great shape, and I loved it, but Master of Puppets had come out on vinyl, and I had to have it. So walking down there, and Luke would give me store credit for that $50 video game, so I could get this $12 record, and it's just the interests fluctuated, video games, music, and you know, you're a kid, you only have so much money, so you do what you gotta. So those are two stories that I can think of. But Steve, those are your questions. Killer thread. Y'all check out Loonacy's questions and his channel. Talk to you guys soon. Ciao.